Hi, my name is Tom Garman. I'm the senior pastor of Trinity-First United Methodist Church, and we're in El Paso, Texas, just so you know, in case you're watching this on the web. And we're beginning a fall commitment campaign. It's a 4-week devotional period, and we're going to share with you different devotions along the theme of God's call. And those devotions are also available in written format in a little booklet like this. The title of the book is What's in Your Calling Plan? And that's how it all kind of came about. As I think about all the different cell service providers and all the different phones that are out there, I remember when my daughter was a small child, back before she became an ordained pastor, she used to say to me, "Dad, it's the same but different." And I used to chuckle and think, well, that's kind of an oxymoron, but she's a little girl. But then I got to thinking about all of the cell phone plans and types that are out there. Senior plans, family plans, and then all of the different amounts of data storage that the different plans offer you with them. And the number of pixels and all the apps that are on the phones. And then I thought about the phones themselves, how we as a society are willing to go camp out for days in order to have the cell phone that has the latest gadgets and gongs and whistles on it when it comes out at midnight one evening. What is it about the call, either making a call or receiving a call these days, that so captivates us, that sends us into well, we kind of are like Pavlov's dogs, you know. We hear the word cell phone and new, and boy, we start ringing the bell to go find our latest gadget. I took a look, I guess, at all the different options, the different manufacturers, the different plans, and I thought about my daughter. You know, it is the same, but it's different. The phones are very much the same. The carriers, they're not all that different. If you go and look at one of their maps they advertise, there's just red blotches all over the map of the good old United States. Kind of makes it look like the USA has eczema or something. But there is something different in God's call. It's a call that's very different. The call of our Creator to each and every one of us. God calls all of us. That's the same part of what my daughter used to say. But here's the different part. His call to each one of us is also very different. He calls us to different ministries, different ways of living our faith out in His name. And that's what we're going to look at. But there is a sad part to the call, and the sad part is most folks will put far more effort into finding their cell phone and their carrier, and far less effort in trying to determine what God's call is upon their life and their faith. In this booklet that I showed you, and in these daily devotionals, we're going to be looking at some of the different people in the Bible that God called. And we're looking at how that call is the same and maybe a little different than God's call is upon each one of our lives. My prayer for you is that throughout this 4-week period of devotionals, if you'll check in and do the devotional each day, and in your prayer life, you will be able to discover your unique call from Almighty God. And when you do that, you'll discover the immeasurable joy that comes from living His call out in your journey of faith on a daily basis. Do you realize that the phrase, "Can you hear me now?" goes back a long, long time. God has been calling His people to hear Him now and answer that call for a long, long time. In fact, God was saying, "Can you hear me now?" long before it became the tagline for a bunch of Verizon commercials. So, I ask you as we begin our devotionals together, what's your calling?